Shubman, welcome to India today.
Thank you.
I'm very curious to know who were the first people that you broke the news to? It's such a big news. Was it family? Was it a set of friends? And what was the reaction like?
It was family and a set of friends that I'm very close with. Those were the people that I first broke the news with. Actually, one of my closest friend who also manages me, he's the one who bought this to me, and he's also a very close friend of mine. So we were talking, and he is also. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and he is also a Spider-Man fan. So we were just discussing
You know,
this.
when you're a fan of Spider-Man, or for that matter, any superhero, right? You are so emotionally connected to that character. How surreal is it for you to realize that you have become part of this legacy of this family now?
It's amazing, to be able to say that I I'm Spider-Man. I'm Indian Spider-Man. Like it's a ज़्यादा how cooler can one get? So it's quite amazing for me to be able to say like I'm the Indian Spider-Man. I'm actually the Indian Spider-Man.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of us have this fantasy imagination in our heads. We say it, but you're actually getting to live it. I mean, there's no greater pleasure than that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I have to also talk about the fact that, using your voice is a very different art. It's a very different craft. Being present on camera and when you see somebody is a different experience. Talk to me a little bit about the kind of homework that you needed to do for this prep.
I because I am also a consumer of Spider-Man, and I know the generic idea of who Spider-Man is, what he stands for, what his personality is, and all those kind of things. Because I know him, it was easier for me to kind of portray him. I didn't do that much homework. I got the script, I read the script, I didn't practice or anything. Went for the dubbing straight away. And first I was dubbing while sitting, and the emotions weren't coming out, and then I stood up and started to act and feel a bit more in the scene, because there was animation playing right in front of me, and then uh, I would double line, and that I would hear it right after I dub it. So in that way, it was all like a combined effort, and the moderator who was helping me, he knew exactly what he wants from me. So that really helped.
Right. And while growing up, when we watched Spider-Man, right, he was our hero because he was also doing all the things that we can't do, but he was there on screen doing it for us. We could relate to him in that way. If I had to ask you, what's the one common thing that you could say between you and Pavitra Prabhakar or, Spider-Man, and the one thing that is totally different?
One thing that I totally relate to him is the managing his schedule, managing different things. He is a student. He is he's got he's got a girl. He goes to the school. He's a Spider-Man. He saves people. So there's a lot going on. In that way, I can relate to him. And some of the things that I can't relate to him is that he's Spider-Man and I'm a cricketer. I'm not a Spider-Man in real life.
Absolutely right. And Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. I mean, these are iconic names that we have come to love over the last few years. It's a very tricky question, but if you had to choose, who is your favorite Spider-Man?
Tobey Maguire, it's not a tricky question for me. Like without any, he is the OG for me. Like the OG. When I think of Spider-Man, I think of him.
Okay, wow, that was pretty easy. I also want to ask you, when you modulate your voice, has this also opened doors for you to explore this medium more? Do you also see perhaps if people come in the future?
If there are things or projects that I relate to and I am really excited about, yeah, for sure.
Right. And you come from a profession that requires a completely different skill set. It completely requires different set of skills to learn and administer than what you did in Spider-Man. But what is it that you can take from this experience into that game? If has it taught you anything, maybe patience, understanding something?
See, Nothing directly related to cricket, but obviously you learn a bit more about your own personality. When I say that, I mean there are certain emotions that you don't show on daily basis, and you get to know that while you're showing them, and then you think like, okay, this is something that is not me, or this is something that is a very little part of me. And that's how you don't know, because you are you, right? You don't know sometimes ki how you are, and while doing that, while dubbing it, then you get to know, okay, this part or this emotion is a lesser part of my own personality. So in that way you get to know about your own personality.
Right. So is there any particular trait in yourself that you've discovered and now you look back and you're like, oh wow, I didn't know I had this in me?
Not something that I had at me, but there was a particular scene where I had to show kind of like mellow, emotional, but still dramatic. And I'm not really like emotional, dramatic kind of a person. So that was quite challenging for me to be able to, get it right. And it took me a few times. I did it okayish, and then we completed the movie, and then I went back at it again and did it again.
Right. Tell me, on June 1st, when the film comes out, right, it's going to hit theaters. The work will be out for everyone to see. And the fan base is so loyal and hardcore, passionate. They're also very judgmental and they're very possessive of this character. How are you going to deal with the reactions that come? How is your mind state going to be?
See, I'm for a people might love it, or people might hate it, or people would have different, because they are so emotionally uh, attached to it, and they are gonna have their own assumptions. But I would see the overall collectiveness, how like how the as as collected how the reaction is. I wouldn't. It's hard to please everyone, and I know that for a fact. And I know I wouldn't be able to uh, please everyone. And I know there are like, this was my first time doing it. I am no Amitabh Bachchan, and I wouldn't be as good as the best dub artist there is. But now that I know that next time I'd be doing it, I would do it. I try to strive for even better.
Right. And tell me, there is this concept of multiverse and crossover that is used very loosely these days. Different franchises have different superheroes crossover. Say hypothetically, if I put you in a situation where Spider-Man is on field and you had to use his superpowers perhaps to get
Yeah.
into a game, how would you use it?
So easy, I'd use the spidey sense for batting. Then I would know where the bowler is already bowling. I'd use the web for catching. They wouldn't be able to score a single boundary or a six. They'll just have to run all their all. They'll just have to score by running. That's all. That's how I'd use it.
I can already tell you have become Spider-Man in your head because you can visualize all this
I
so
have been
really
a
well.
Spider-Man for the past 15 years in my head.
Do you have a lot of memorabilia? Do you have like his clothes or anything that you've collected while traveling?
Not
Merchandise?
really. It's just I'm not big on like collecting. Not a big collector, but I have like childhood memories, so many of them.
Okay. And I can't leave you without getting fans' requests to say a line from the promo if you could. Maybe anything that's the top of your head if you have a recollection of in as Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay. I'll Hindi or Punjabi, which one do you want me to say?
Whichever you are comfortable with.
Okay, I'll say the Hindi one. There's this line. कुत्तों को खाना खिलाना, बदमाशों को मारना, और माय आंटी के साथ कटिंग चाय की चुस्की लेना.
Wow, that was nice. I quickly want to also talk a bit about Punjabi because that is going to be a lot of fun. That is definitely going to bring a lot of flavor to the character that we've never felt. I mean, Hindi, of course, is a language that's really well versed, but Punjabi has so much of color and a sense to it. How was that experience like?
I did the Hindi version first and then I did the Punjabi version. So it was easier for me to do the Punjabi version because I already, firstly, it's my mother tongue, and then secondly, I knew which emotion to show when. So it was, and I improvised a little bit because the moderator told me to do in my own way, and she used to tell me, okay, this is the vibe, and then I used to say how I feel, because I'm from Punjab and I have seen uh, the Punjabi dubbed versions of like the previous movies, and it used to be so sad that we didn't have like a whole. There used to be parts that used to be dubbed in Punjabi, not the whole movie, and that too unofficially. Right now, it's coming in so many languages, and to be able to do the Punjabi version was really fun.
Right. And in your as friends in the cricketing fraternity, is there anybody else who's also as much as a fan as you are?
Of Spider-Man,
Yes.
I don't know actually if someone else is as. I don't know if other people know as well that I'm this much passionate about Spider-Man.
Okay. All right. Finally, Shubman, one message to everybody who's watching India Today right now, who's so excited to obviously become a part of this fantastical world and see you in a different role altogether. What would you like to say?
I would like to tell them that the Indian Spider-Man is all what India stands for, and he is what Indian culture is, and he is very fun, exciting, and outspoken. And all of you
Absolutely.
will be able to relate to him.
Thank you, Shubman. Looking forward on June 1st to see Spider-Man. I'm going to watch it in Punjabi as well. So
Please.
congratulations.
Thank you.